Other night I was having some trouble falling asleep. Sometimes I have trouble going to sleep or falling asleep. Um, Not all the time, but sometimes I do. One thing I found that helps me out if you're having trouble going to sleep, I like to visualize or imagine like uh, well, for example, the other night when I was having trouble going to sleep, I visualize or imagine a koi pond. Koi fish, they're like Japanese carp fish, the ones that come in various colors and patterns. They're usually fairly large, pretty fish, very uh, freshwater koi fish. Anyways, I was visualizing or imagining a koi pond full of different koi fish. Some of them I remember being what I was visualizing. Some of them were solid black and some were solid gold. I just remember that being cool. A solid black or a solid gold koi fish swimming around in a pond. I was giving them fish pellets, something you usually feed koi fish. I was throwing them pellets, and they're coming to the surface and eating the pellets, which is what they really do. I was sitting in the chair, and it was a really nice koi pond. It had a waterfall, nothing over the top or too large, but it did have I would say a nice medium-sized waterfall. It had some nice plants around the koi pond, some decorations. The koi pond had a natural shape to it, like something you might find, I guess, in nature. I guess it was shaped like a lake or a pond. Anyways, that's what I imagine or visualize if I have trouble falling asleep. This does more than just one thing. This helps me go to sleep, which is what I'm trying to do in the first place. It also gives me an idea if I ever have a koi pond with Japanese carp or koi fish in it, I'll have an idea of how I want to do it, or how I want it to look, and how I want to do it. I really do like koi fish. Shout out to koi fish. Good job to koi fish. They're pretty nice. Speaking of koi ponds, I also like aquariums. If you watch my videos or know me, you probably already know that I like aquariums or fish tanks. And since I'm talking about koi ponds, I saw a terrarium slash aquarium. It was like a really tall aquarium where at the bottom part you could put fish, you could fill with water and put whatever you want, fish, maybe some aquatic turtles or eels, whatever. And in the fish tank or the aquarium slash terrarium had a large tree with a bunch of nice branches inside aquarium slash terrarium. So at the bottom was a bunch of nice fish and some turtles swimming around, and they had some land above the water that the turtles, because turtles require that when they're done swimming in the water, they can get up on the land and get some UV light or some light, because usually reptiles, a turtle's a reptile, or even some amphibians or animals, they need to have certain UV light that kind of does the same thing the natural sun would do, I guess. So it had the fish tank, and it had the land for the turtles to go up on when they're done swimming around, and in the middle had a big tree or a big stick with branches, and in the tree limbs there was some big boa constrictors. I wouldn't say super big. They're fairly large. There's 2 of them in the tree branches. That was one of the coolest fish tanks slash or aquarium slash terrariums I've ever seen. So you had fish, you had crabs, you had turtles, and then in the tree limbs he had two boa constrictors, and inside this terrarium slash aquarium was a humidifier, something that's on a timer, and when it gets to a specific time, it humidifies the entire tank for the turtles and the snakes, to give them the same feeling like a rainforest would give them, a lot of humidity and moisture, a humidifier. And it had that inside the tank also. And plus it had a lot of nice plants and stuff. It was very nice, and that was probably the nicest aquarium slash terrarium I've seen. That's the kind of one, that's the type of aquarium terrarium I would want to have, where I could have water, fish and stuff, and I could have some land for like turtles, crabs, maybe even some frogs or amphibians, maybe some snakes. So you have a whole ecosystem, not just a fish tank, but you have like a aquarium slash terrarium ecosystem. That would be nice. That would be a fairly impressive display. That would be fun to maintain too. Honestly, if I had a boa constrictor, I'd probably only have maybe one, because usually a boa constrictor, they usually eat once a week, if I remember right. Snakes, you usually feed them usually a rodent, some type of rodent, once a week. So they're not terribly expensive to keep a reptile like that. But I'd probably only have one boa constrictor, preferably solid gold if possible. That would be nice, a solid gold boa constrictor. Anyways, good job, guys.